been a good day of listing on eBay today. I went to work all day, a full 8-hour day, and then I came home. I took the dog for a walk and I prepared a bread pudding that's cooking right now. It actually just finished. I've been waiting to come down here and pack until the timer went off, and it just did. So bread pudding is sitting on the stove cooling off. Hopefully it will be good. There was a whole giant box of light bulbs in the living room in there, taking up half of the room where I store stuff that's ready to get listed. And I finally went through it all, sorted it all out. A lot of them were just throwaways. Some I set aside, small packages that I think I could sell at a yard sale or a garage sale or something. Maybe get 50 cents or $1 for them. And then a bunch of vintage light bulbs that, if I'm able to sell them, they will sell for a decent amount of money. Turn this fan off. There are these old light bulbs. I guess they're probably from the 70s and 80s, back when you would go to pay here in the Chicago area, it was Commonwealth Edison. You go to pay your electric bill, and then part of that bill gave you a certain number of light bulbs to take home with you. So there's a lot of them. There are, let's see, they come in 2-packs. So there's probably 60 or 70 of the 41 watt bulbs, and then maybe 35 or 40 of of a different watt, maybe 26 watt. They're kind of light, dim bulbs. Anyway, it seems like they sell for about $3.50 to $5 a piece. So I'm just lotting them all together as much as I can. I got that into 4 different listings. So I'm going to just multiply however many bulbs there are in the listing by 3 and sell those. So it's going to be, well, I'll tell you exactly. It's going to be 300 plus 80 plus 23 plus 45. So whatever that turns out to be, it's probably close to $450. And I got all these light bulbs from a guy on Facebook Marketplace who was cleaning out his attic and just asked if anybody wants them. And then I went and got what I could. He had some others, like outdoor, like floodlights. Somebody else got there before me, and I think those were probably the ones that were worth quite a bit of money. I think they were worth like $20 a piece, but they're all gone. So then the problem here is that I have heard, and I don't have any evidence of this, but I have heard that eBay doesn't allow you to sell these vintage light bulbs that aren't up to modern day energy efficiency standards. So I'm gonna list them anyway and test it out and see if they get through, see if they get approved, and then they get purchased. So hopefully somebody will buy them quickly so that eBay doesn't have a chance to remove them. I'm not sure why they wouldn't be allowed, and I think it's probably fine. I'm going to cross-list them all on Facebook Marketplace. I already got one listing up on Facebook Marketplace. I just need to do the other 3 or 4. So that's it. That's everything I worked on today. I got about 6, besides those bulbs, which is 4 listings. I got another listing done of a Pampered Chef cookie press that I got over the weekend at a yard sale. I threw it in the dishwasher last night and wanted to get that listed as soon as possible. It's not worth a lot. I paid $2 for it, and I think it's worth about, if it was brand new, it's maybe $25. Since it's been used and it is missing one little piece, it's probably going to sell for $16. I'm going to list it at $18.99, and then I'll probably take an offer for $15 or $16. So we'll see how it goes. But right now, tonight, we have 4 orders that have to get packed up. 3 of them are going to be very, very simple, and one of them might be a little bit more complicated. We'll have to see how it goes. But it's something that I've been wanting to sell for a long time because it's taking up a lot of space. So hang on with me. I'm going to get these items ready to pack. I'm going to pack them up. I'm going to buy labels, and then along the way, I'm going to tell you exactly how much money we made on each of these items and how much money we made for the whole day. So stick around. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back and we're ready to pack. First thing we're going to do is put the sales for Sunday up here on this tally board. There was only one sale yesterday, so a disappointing day for sure. It always feels like just as things seem to be improving, you get 2 or 3 strong days, then there's a day where you just sell one item for 30 bucks and it makes you wonder why you're even doing this. But these are everything that sold today. So we got 4 items. I think right now it adds up to just over $100. So by the time we're done here, I'm gonna guess we're gonna have a profit. Let's write it down. I'm gonna say we're gonna have a total profit of $88 total. And I'll remember to come back to this when we're done. I'll try to remember to come back to this and see how close I got. Okay, let's get these items packed. We don't want to spend a lot of time because I want to go try that bread pudding upstairs. Okay, so right here I have a cookie cutter set. These are Pac-Man cookie cutters. Pac-Man and the ghosts. Oh, that looks good here in the dark. Anyway, this came from there's this company called Suck UK, and I don't know exactly what it is. Don't fully understand what the company is about, but I found this and that came from that company. I also have some I've got some chopsticks and a little chopstick resting bowl that have skulls on them that came from the same company. So my guess is that it's just like sort of a kitschy hipster company. I tried to do some research on it, but this is the kind of stuff that makes me, that it ends up taking me a long time to list things because I find this and then I'm interested in the company and I spend an hour researching it, looking up their website, looking it up on Wikipedia, whatever. And I have to get better at not getting into a rabbit hole. Because listing shouldn't take, I mean, probably shouldn't, something like this should probably take 2 minutes to list, including the time to take pictures of it and everything. And I probably spent 40 minutes reading about Suck UK and trying to figure out what they are. And I still don't have an answer. This I believe this was the Goodwill. Yeah, this came from the Goodwill in January, the very end of January. So I've had it listed for about 6 months, I guess. And it only sold for 10 bucks. But I only paid $1 for it, so it's not too bad. I thought it would, some of these things you see no comps for, and then you think maybe this is something worth buying, but sometimes they're not. Pac-Man weighs 7 ounces, 10 by 7 by 3, and it's going to KCB. Breaker. 10-4, good buddy. That one's done. Okay, next. I'm going to save this guy for last, but this is the one that's next on the list, but we'll save it till the end. Right here I have, I don't know if this is a bracelet. I think it's a bracelet from Royal Caribbean Cruise Line. Somebody bought this or got this while they were on a cruise probably. It says EFFY. I guess that's probably the jewelry company. I don't know exactly. I got 3 of these at the Goodwill in March. And this is the first one to sell. I paid only $2.20 a piece for them, and I sold this one for $29.99 plus shipping. So pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that as a return on investment. And it's going to go in an envelope, so it's going to be really easy to pack. And I have 3 of them. So in my experience, when you have a multi-quantity listing and one of them sells, the other ones will start selling shortly after. So I'm hoping these other 2 go quickly in the next few days. I think that the eBay algorithm sees that this one item is finally something that is actually sellable, and then they start it starts sending out the other 2 or the other items that are left in the same listing. So hopefully that's the case. I would like to sell these other 2 and get them out of here. So I think envelope is gonna work out just fine, especially with that cardboard in there. Royal Caribbean. So I can't imagine what that cost on the actual cruise. I'm gonna just write Royal on here. 3 ounces, 0.3, and it's gonna be 9 by 7 by 1. It's going to MM in Florida. So thanks for the purchase. That one's done. All right, next up is this little set of dollhouse miniatures. I can't remember, where did I get this? This came from the Goodwill too. It says I paid $5.50 for this, which would be a surprise to me. So I probably bought a bunch of stuff and then averaged out the cost of each item. So look at this tiny little double boiler. I don't know if you can see it. These are all made out of copper or brass or something. It's a kind of a mishmash. You know, there's some pots and pans, but they don't have, there are lids, but then they're not lids that fit. These I think are supposed to be, I don't know if that would be salt and pepper shaker or just like a urn or a vase. Oh, here's salt and pepper shakers. This is a totally different size. These ones look like real copper. Anyway, then there's also this little checkerboard set, very tiny little set, probably 1.25 inches across, and these little checkers are very tiny. This one is called Grandmother Stover's brand. I'm assuming these things are for dollhouses. I don't know what else it would be for. So I'm gonna protect them a little bit from bumping into each other. There's one here that's a flower that's like, I mean, this is like fabric and it's pretty fragile. I don't know what the age on these kind of things would be. But that one is in pretty rough shape, so I'll try to protect that one on its own. I only sold this, I mean, it says here I paid $5.50, which, like I said, that seems unlikely, but it's possible. And I only sold it for $20. So this wouldn't be a great return on investment, for sure. I had this listed for $29, and somebody sent an offer, and I accepted it, $20 offer. So for that amount, I probably should just put these in an envelope, but like I said, some of these things seem a little fragile, so we're gonna go ahead and put it in a box. It's not it probably won't increase the shipping cost much, but it will add the cost of the box on here. These little small boxes I buy them new. And let's see, this little flower I'm gonna put in its own little package. I'm not gonna do it too tight because it is sort of crumbling, I think. So I don't know what the person bought it for. Maybe they just don't want the checkerboard, or maybe they just want the pots and pans. Who knows? But I'm gonna get them everything. I'm gonna put this back in this Ziploc bag. I need more of these like snack size Ziploc bags. Are good for small items. Okay. Mini, 5 ounces, pretty light. I'm sure it would be 5 ounces in an envelope. These are 6 by 5 by 5, and it's going to PW in Arizona. I don't see that PW that often, but it always makes me think of Pee Wee Herman. Okay, those 3 are done. Now, this thing is pretty cool. I thought this would sell a lot faster. This I've been sitting on since 2023, I think. No, March of 2024. I guess I got it at an estate sale. I don't really remember where this came from, but it's like a seat, a fisherman's seat from Sears. So I don't know how old that is, but it's not new, that's for sure. Also, I don't know how to open it. Inside here I've for sure had this open before, and I can see a little latch. I just don't know how to unlatch it. There it goes. So inside here it has a little tray for your lures or whatever. Maybe this part is maybe for something a little bigger, so these trays fit together. And then down in the very bottom is a styrofoam box. So this, I guess, could be for your lunch or for your bait, your night crawlers, your worms, whatever. But I think it's pretty cool. It says Woodstream Corporation. I have not seen, in the time that I've had this, I haven't seen any others on eBay. There's a lot of Sears, oh look, it has a handle that pops up. There's a lot of Sears fishing seats, but they're nothing like this. They're like those like folding ones with a little fabric across the top, sort of like a hammock. Then they fold up to be about the same size as this, I guess, maybe even a little smaller. I've had that listed for a while, and I thought it was going to sell. I think I had it listed for like 70 bucks, and I just gradually over time lowered the price. I just relisted it a few days ago, and I usually don't have luck with relisting. A lot of people give the advice to end and relist or end and sell similar, and I have never had luck with doing that. But I did just relist this one recently, but in this time I drastically lowered the price, and then I think I received an offer after that. So I only sold it for $34, so it's not going to be, this didn't make me very much money. And we'll see how the shipping goes. If it's going to end up, it might end up costing more than the buyer paid for the shipping. I'm going to have to use 2 of these 12 by 12 by 12 boxes, so that's an expense there too. Actually, I might have a box in the other room that's exactly the right size, but right now I'm going to go ahead with this. And I'll save that for the next time I need to do a box of this type. So I'm basically just making a cap to put on the other box. So there we go, that'll go on top of there. We'll put this guy inside. I think it's gonna fit. It's basically, I mean, it's pretty tight, but it'll fit. And it's pretty, I think it's pretty much damage proof. So, you know what, let me set this aside. I have a bunch of stuff out here. All of this bubble stuff I'll use instead of paper, because this is just making a mess, taking up room. Whenever I get this odd stuff, I like to use it as quickly as possible just to get it moving, clear it out, and get something else, make room for something else. I have had this bubble wrap stuff for quite a long time, and I keep starting to use it and then finding a reason to not use it. But this time it's going out. Okay, this box is like pretty much exactly on the edge of these, so it's not ideal. There should be a little bit more space, but like I said, this stool is going to be damage proof, or as close to damage proof as you can get. Okay, let's start in one corner. Come on, we're getting there. There it goes. Okay, good. Save that for later. Okay, that's gonna be relatively heavy. I don't know if this is gonna end up, this might end up FedEx. We'll find out. Yeah. I was just gonna do these kind of straps on 2 sides, but it'll be okay. I'll waste a little tape and do it on 4 sides. I think that's gonna be about as much as we need. Okay, 6 pounds. I'm gonna go ahead and do the top. 6 pounds. Huh. How big is this gonna be? 13? How long is it? If it's more, it's not more than 24. It's 19. 12 by 12 by 19. So that might, that could be, I mean, I prefer if it's going by USPS because I don't want to have to make a special trip to FedEx. But if it's considerably cheaper, we'll go FedEx. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, I've got these all ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the camera, and then I'll come back after I've purchased all the shipping labels, and then we'll see about how much money we made. Those labels purchased, and these boxes are ready to go. This big fishing thing cost a little bit more than I expected, and then excuse me, and then I paid $2 extra to ship it by Ground Advantage rather than through FedEx because I don't want to have to drive over there. I'll just put this on the porch and be done with it. So $2 for convenience. My prediction of $88 was a little bit off, so let's go through these items and I'll tell you what we earned on them. So, okay, the dollhouse miniatures, we saw those. Fan off. We earned $12.69, so not a big sale. Well, none of these are really that big a sale. The little Caribbean cruise bracelet, $24.23. The fishing seat, $28.73. And then finally the Pac-Man cookie cutters, we earned $9.78. So yeah, the big loser, I was not expecting that fishing seat to cost almost $17. So my prediction was pretty off. So I predicted $88 and it turned out today's profits were only $75.43. So I say it every day, but it's right now it's 9:20. There is time for more sales to come in, so maybe maybe today's net profit will go up if we get a couple more sales, but we can't rely on those. So the average profit per day for the month of June is $108.02. I want that number to be like 150, closer to 150. And the average profit per sale for the month of June is $26.43. So that's everything for today, just these 4 packages. And hopefully we'll get a bigger sales day tomorrow and we'll be back packing up more boxes to ship. So thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon. Bye.